so day one, you introduce the topic and discuss. You draw a picture of the topic. So let's say if your topic is friends, you're going to draw a picture of your friend. And then you'll write friends in the topic, and then you'll circle that with like a red crayon. Day two, it says to discuss what a main idea is. We do that in our reading, so basically you're just reviewing. And you want to write one word about the main idea. Let's say if it's your friends, then your main idea would be, let's say Susie. That's your main idea. So you have friend, and then you have Susie. And then on day three, you're going to talk about the key detail. Basically what I tell the kids is to, what do you like best about Susie? And if Susie likes to share with you, then you would put share in that bubble. So now you've got 3 bubbles. We'll go to that next slide. You've got 3 bubbles. And your topic would be friend. Then you're going to have Susie. And then you're going to have what you like best about Susie. And then you're going to circle each one of those days. You do that with a different color. So this is going to be a short 3 sentences that they'll end up at the end of the 10 days. We took usually at the beginning, it takes about 10 days to go through all the steps. But as they get better with it, we can get it accomplished in a week. But that's kind of how it maps out. I'm going to go back to there. On the 4th day, I believe we're at, what you do is ahead of time, you're going to go ahead and type up closed sentences. You're going to go from your topic and you're going to say, everybody goes to school. This is just an example. And then you're going to underline that in red. And you're going to, everybody likes school. And in that blank closed sentence, you're going to put school and you'll underline that in red. And then your next sentence says, or not school, friend. Everybody has a friend, and you'll underline that in red, and then the next sentence will be like, my favorite friend is Johnny, and then you'll underline that one in yellow. Then the next sentence would be on your 6th day, you're going to do your detail. The reason I like Johnny the best is he likes to share, or he loves to run. And so you've got 3 sentences, and they're all underlined with a different color each one. And this basically, you're just filling in the blanks. At the end of that 6th day, they should have 3 sentences. They should be all underlined in a certain color. So there they have their completed sentences, which is great. And they feel really successful when they can get that done. And I help them to read it. And whenever you have went back the other way. When you have so many writers kind of at different areas, it sounds like it goes pretty quick, but you'll have some people that just don't, it takes them a long time to write. Why isn't this going forward? There we go. And the next one. Please move. There you go. So, then at the end of after you got their closed sentences, they're going to use their completed closed sentence and they're going to copy it onto their 1st grade paper. Some kids, this is really quick, and some kids, this might take a couple of days because the copying, the writing for 1st grade at the beginning of the year is difficult. So that's where you might have some alternate activities for the other kids that can whip through this pretty quick, and then you'll have other kids that are going to take a long time. As they rewrite it onto 1st grade paper, they're also going to correspond, once again, their colors. This will really help them also pay attention to capitals and punctuation. You want that 1st sentence to be from capital to period, that 2nd sentence with a different color, capital to period, and their 3rd sentence, capital to period with a different color. So you can remind them this is your topic, that's your main idea, and that's your key detail. At the day 8 through 10, and this is their final writing, after they've read it, they've wrote it. Sometimes I'll even have them copy that 2 times. And like I said, it's hard at first because they're not used to writing that much in a setting where this is exactly what we're doing. It's not a journal writing or something that's just real quick for them. It can be trying, but it really helps them at the end. On your 8th through the 10th day, what they do is they take their bubble map. Now they're not going to copy anymore. Now they have friend, Susie, and share, and now they can, in their own head, make up their own ideas of what friend, Susie, and share mean to them. So they could model exactly like they've written it for the couple of days, or they can do it on their own. My favorite friend is, I have a favorite friend, her name is Susie, me and Susie love to share. That's great. It doesn't have to be exactly like they've modeled, but it's just giving them a good structure of how that's going to be done. Most will come very close to the model and some will struggle, but that's okay. Then you can really pull out the kids that need more help to get that writing done. And that's the bubble map. By the time this is all over, you'll have 5 bubbles total, because you'll have usually your topic, 2 main ideas, and then a detail for each main idea. Like if it's pets, I like dogs, I like cats, why do you like dogs, why do you like cats? And then in a perfect world, you're gonna close that together and have your closing sentence that kind of wraps it up. We should wrap it up, put it in a bow, and it usually reflects, these are the reasons why I love pets, or this is why I love pets the most, or this is why Susie is my best friend. That's kind of their closing sentence. Our goal is to have kids writing 3 to 5 sentences by the end of April. You can use this format with expository and informational, but narrative is a little different. They were showing us really more of a beanie, where it's similar, but the bubbles would be beginning, middle, end, so they can kind of have a narrative. So, and that's probably the hardest, I think, to have kids write, because they get really stuck on the story. They don't have the sequencing down yet, so that can be tricky. But it's the same thing. If you do a lot of modeling and a lot of each step every day, they can get it. Journal writing is what we do to practice just using that pen to paper or pencil to paper. We use pens here. We can use markers, make it fun for them. We all do that. And I always let them know, because they'll always ask me, how do you sound that out? Or how do you spell that, Miss Ryder? I always tell them, listen, sound it out your best. What's important is your handwriting is neat and that you're spacing. I don't want all these letters together. So if you space it and write it neatly, Mrs. Ryder can figure out what you're trying to say. Writing and reading packets are great practice, and we all do that. So this is just an idea that we can implement here to get our writing scores up. Thanks for coming.